This is the hardest thing I've ever had to talk about, and honestly, I don't know if I should even be sharing this. But I've kept it all bottled up inside for too long, and if telling this story helps me finally make sense of it, then so be it. It all started with two people, me, Hannah, and Clara, my best friends since we were kids. I'm 24 now, and she's 25. We've known each other for more than half our lives, and when I tell you we were like sisters, I mean it. We were inseparable. Clara and I met when we were in kindergarten. Our parents hit it off immediately, and that's how the bond started. We'd hang out at each other's houses, share birthday parties, and basically do everything together. Growing up, we shared all the milestones. First jobs, first boyfriends, late night talks about life and what the future held. Even when we got older and things started to shift, when life started pulling us in different directions, we always stayed close. Clara was always the outgoing one. She had this confidence about her that I admired. People were drawn to her, and she had a way of making anyone feel comfortable. She'd walk into a room, and suddenly it felt like everyone was laughing and having a good time. I was the quieter one, more reserved. I never minded, though. I liked it that way. Clara was the social butterfly, and I was happy to be the grounded one. We balanced each other out perfectly. Now, Clara had a brother, Jake. He was a couple of years older than us, and he was the classic older brother type. Protective, funny, and to be honest, kind of charming. I always got along with him. He wasn't one of those older brothers who would make fun of you or act like you were a pain in the ass. He'd make jokes, sure, but he was never mean-spirited about it. He was just, well, a good guy. And that's how I always saw him. Just a good guy. Until everything went to shit. It started when we were in college. Clara and I were still as close as ever, but there were subtle changes happening. Things that I didn't pay much attention to at first. You know how it is. People grow up. They get busy. Clara had started dating someone seriously, and I was still figuring out my life. It was a weird time, to be honest. She was in this new relationship, and I was still unsure about what I was doing. But we kept in touch, hung out when we could. Everything seemed normal, or at least it felt like it. But the first sign that something was off came when Clara started acting a little strange. I noticed it when she'd come over to hang out, and she wasn't as present. It wasn't like her to be distracted, especially when we were together. At first, I figured it was just stress from school or her relationship, but there was something else in her eyes. A kind of distance that I couldn't explain. It was subtle, but it was there. One night, Clara invited me over to her place. Her boyfriend was out of town, and she wanted to hang out. I thought it'd be a nice, relaxing evening to catch up. When I got there, Jake was already sitting on the couch. He was watching TV and sipping on a beer. He and I exchanged pleasantries, but I noticed something weird. Clara was acting odd around Jake. She kept glancing at him, avoiding eye contact, and it was uncomfortable to watch. I didn't think much of it at the time, honestly. I assumed it was just my imagination, that I was overthinking things, which I tend to do sometimes. We all hung out, ordered pizza, and talked about random stuff like we always did. But the whole time, there was this weird energy in the air, something I couldn't quite put my finger on. The next day, Clara and I were texting. She sent me a message saying, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something. Don't freak out, okay?" I didn't know what she meant, but the way she phrased it made my stomach drop. I wasn't prepared for what was coming next. When we met up that afternoon, Clara had this look on her face. It was a mixture of guilt and fear, like she was about to confess something huge. I remember asking her what was going on, and then she just blurted it out. "Hannah, I've been seeing Jake. We've been sleeping together." My heart literally stopped. I couldn't even process what she was saying. "What? You and Jake? My best friend? My brother?" I could barely get the words out. Clara's face went pale. I know. It's been going on for a while, and I swear it was a mistake at first. But then it just happened. And I don't know how to stop it. I was speechless. My best friend, the person I'd known my whole life, was in a secret relationship with my brother, my older brother, who I'd always seen as, well, my brother. The guy who'd been there for me growing up, who'd helped me with my homework and teased me in a way that was never mean-spirited. And now Clara was telling me they'd been sleeping together, behind my back, for months. I couldn't breathe. I didn't know what to say. How could she do this to me? How could she do this to us? I'd always trusted Clara. She was my rock. And now it felt like everything had crumbled in a single moment. Hannah, please. I never meant for it to happen, Clara begged. I never wanted to hurt you. It was a mistake. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm so sorry. But the apology didn't matter. The damage was already done. I felt like I was suffocating. I couldn't look at her. I couldn't even think straight. All I could think about was how my two closest people, my best friend and my brother, had betrayed me in the worst way possible. It felt like my whole world had been turned upside down. I had to leave. I just had to get out of there. I didn't want to be around Clara anymore, not after what she had just told me. But as I stood up to leave, Clara grabbed my arm. Please don't hate me, Hannah. Please, we can work through this. I pulled away from her, not knowing what to say, but feeling like every word she spoke was just making the wound worse. I don't know if I can forgive you for this, Clara, I said, my voice breaking. I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again. And that was it. I left. The next few days were a blur. I didn't talk to Clara. I didn't talk to Jake. I didn't want to. I felt like I was living in a nightmare. The thought of what had happened kept swirling in my head. I kept asking myself, how could this happen? How could they both keep this from me? But the real damage came when I found out what it had done to both of our families. My parents were crushed when they found out. They were devastated. My mom had always seen Jake as the son she never had. She couldn't even talk about it without crying. It was like their trust in him was completely shattered. Jake's relationship with our family became strained too. My parents couldn't even look at him the same way. My dad was furious, and I don't think I've ever seen him that angry. It tore through both families like a wrecking ball. My parents didn't want to speak to him, and Clara's parents were in shock too. They had no idea, and now that it was out in the open, they didn't know how to process it. It felt like everything was breaking apart. As for Clara and me, well, things were never the same. We tried to talk a few times, but it was too hard. She had betrayed me, and no matter how many apologies she gave, I couldn't forget what had happened. Every time I looked at her, I couldn't help but see her with Jake. It felt like I'd lost both of them in a single, painful blow. Over time, things settled down. Sort of. My parents forgave Jake eventually. They didn't forget, but they tried to move forward. Clara and I haven't really spoken much. The distance between us is still there, and I don't think it'll ever go away. I don't think I can ever have the same relationship with her. I don't know if we'll ever be close again. And Jake? Well, things between us are weird. We don't talk much. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if I even want to. It's been a while now, and I still can't fully make sense of everything. The betrayal, the heartache, the damage done to both families, it's all still there, lingering. I don't think it'll ever completely go away. But if I've learned anything, it's that life is fragile. People can betray you in ways you never expect, and sometimes those relationships can never be repaired. All you can do is try to move forward, even if it means losing the people you thought you'd always have.